Hi, this is attorney Nicole Christie from the Christie Law Firm, where we work hard to make families stronger. So today I want to talk to you on how do you prepare your kids for a DCF home visit. That is probably one of the scariest things to happen for a parent, but it raises a lot of questions and concerns for a kid. One of the questions that I do hear kids come up with the most is, am I going to be taken away? Am I going into a foster home? So one of the things that you want to do is make sure that you're prepping your kids as well. Don't take for granted how this could be impacting them, impacting their own mental health. So one of the first things you want to do is just assure them that you're going to do everything possible to make sure that they're okay and stay protected, that this is their home and this is where they're going to stay. If DCF hasn't come to remove the kids, then it's not likely it's going to happen, at least without some kind of warning or some kind of preparation for it. So I wouldn't worry about the kids being removed unless DCF is saying the kids are being removed. Other than that, you want to prepare your kids to say, no, you're not being removed. The second thing you want to do is let them know they're not in trouble. Now, I know there could be instances where a kid will say something to a teacher, mommy hit me or mommy yelled at me, and that gets reported to DCF because they are mandated reporters. But one of the things that I think is important is that kids should be able to report when something is wrong. And even if it involves you as a parent, you don't want them to feel like it's a bad thing because God forbid somebody else did something to them. You want them to know that they can go to school and report it and something will be done. So you want to assure them that they're not in trouble, but that, as a result of what was being said, this is what's happening and DCF is coming out. So that at least they make a correlation between making a report and then there's going to be a result. So if they did make it up or if they did, just wanted to try to, quote, get you into trouble, they'll understand the consequences of their action. You also want to talk to them about the fact that the DCF worker may want to sit and talk to them. Now, if you allow that to happen, and it is your right whether or not you want DCF to talk to your child, you want to let them know, again, they're not in trouble, that they should tell the truth, and that there's nothing to hide. So that way the child is more relaxed in talking to the worker. Now, most DCF workers are trained on how to interview children, and so they do make it age appropriate. So the conversation that a worker would have with a 16-year-old is very different than what they should have with a 6-year-old. So I wouldn't be as concerned about them asking inappropriate questions, but they will ask kids questions. They generally will ask who lives in the home, what school they go to. They will ask them sometimes very pointedly, do you feel safe in your home? Are you okay in your home? If you were in trouble, what would happen? How are you punished? So they'll ask questions about discipline. They'll also ask them questions about substance abuse, and they'll ask them questions about domestic violence. Now, they're not going to use these big words like I just did, but they'll ask, did mommy and daddy fight? Or do you see mommy and daddy drink anything? They will ask those types of questions. They're generally asked at these interviews just to make sure that there aren't concerns that the kids are exposed to. Now, in prepping your children for those kinds of questions, you can simply say to them, they're going to be asking you questions about us and what it's like in the home, and I want you to be honest. I don't suggest that you give the kids answers because kids, they're not as savvy as adults to actually say, okay, this is where I should say X, Y, and Z. They're going to actually look like they're trying to come up with an answer, and therefore it doesn't give the best impression. So I wouldn't coach the children, just prepare them for the types of questions that could be asked and letting them know, again, they're not in trouble and to tell the truth. And if there is something going on with your kids, it's just now this is going to be the time where you'll probably have to address it if they're bringing it up to a DCF worker, and there's ways to address it. Again, that doesn't mean that the kids have to leave the home, but it just means that now is the time to address whatever those concerns are. So in the long story short, don't ever forget that you do have to prep your children for a DCF interview. Even if DCF is coming out to the house periodically and have been involved with your family for a while, you still want to take the time to prep them just so that they can also feel comfortable about the home visit. We as attorneys, we sometimes sit in actually with the interview with the children so we can hear for ourselves what they have to say and be able to, express that to you. And if there's anything that needs to be done, we would be there to assist you in doing so. So if you have any questions or anything that you would need to help you in this whole DCF involvement or an investigation, please don't hesitate to contact our office. Take care. Bye-bye.